Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment. You can listen to The Mike O'Mara Show at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Well, what have we here?
It's a podcast.
Fine.
And what excitement we have today.
It's The Mike O'Mara Show with Mike O'Mara and Rob Spiewak. Now, here's Mike.
First of all, I'd like to welcome everyone to this screening. Rarely do I get, on the very first day that we're back from a holiday weekend, a story that I have to lead with. But
that's great.
And this falls into the category. I have one story. I have not done any deeper research on this other than this story, but I had to bring it to air right away because it concerns Richard Dreyfuss, who occasionally rears his ugly head in the news. That would be a first.
I love when you do Dreyfuss. You always lean towards the goodbye girl, Richard Dreyfuss, leaning into Jaws.
Or even Mr. Holland's Opus, Richard Dreyfuss.
A little bit of Opus, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And remember, he was on CBS for a while.
That, when they eliminate football, that'll be a stretch. Or whatever he said. Remember when when Mr. Holland's all bummed that they're not, when they cut the football program. Yes. I was Olympia Dukakis' favorite teacher.
Hey, Mr. Holland, how old are you now?
I'm 93. This just, I became aware, I think a lot of people became aware because he's very vocal about his politics. A couple of years, 2-3 years ago, Richard Dreyfuss being very, very vocal about his policies that don't jive with the Hollywood elite, which is which is interesting. I think that it takes all kinds. However, he has also garnered a bit of a reputation as a Hollywood curmudgeon.
He really has.
And then when I read this today, this was just funny. Because I can picture, I thought of you, Rob. I pictured you going to something like this. Hollywood star Richard Dreyfuss facing backlash after he allegedly launched into a sexist and homophobic rant. A sexist and homophobic rant.
Oh, Richard.
At a special screening of Jaws.
Well, you know what? That might be me, but you know who could have been there was Paul Blair.
No, don't bring him. Just because he obsessive compulses on his little Broadway show. You know, I like I like Paulie Christine when he comments on the show or he puts pictures of food up. You don't have to acknowledge every obsession that he has, which includes Kiss, that Jaws show.
Now,
yes.
But Mike, in the Variety article today about Richard Dreyfuss, it is Paul's video that they used.
Really?
Of the event.
That's Paulie Christine up in Beverly, Massachusetts?
Yes.
He went all the way up to Beverly, Mass from New York?
I guess so, because it's his video.
All right.
How did he get the time off?
Then we got to get Paulie on the show now.
Yeah. I thought that's where you were going with this story.
Can we get Paulie on the show before the show's over?
I have his phone number, I believe.
See if you can get him on the show. And see.
Can we do a phoner if we need to, Josh?
We can do a phoner, or I can send him the link to hop on.
Send him the link. See if he wants to come on, because I mean, if we've got an eyewitness account,
even better.
So let me get right to it then. If we get Paulie on, that'll be all the better. And I was sitting there thinking, there's no way he went. And then you were right, Rob. Saturday's event, an evening with Richard Dreyfuss at the Cabot Performing Arts Center in Beverly, Massachusetts, was billed as a screening of the 1975 movie and a discussion with the actor who starred in it. However, those who attended the event later reported online that the Oscar-winning actor had used sexist and homophobic language, which caused more than a dozen people to walk out. Now come back here. Come back here. I'm not finished.
Hear me out.
Please. I was not attempting to offend you. One wrote in reply to a Facebook post from the Cabot, we walked out of his interview tonight along with hundreds of others. Well, one report says a dozen, another says hundreds, because of his racist. Oh, they throw that one in too. Homophobic, racist,
Yep.
homophobic, and misogynistic rant.
That, you know what? Those before or after movie talks are usually pretty short. He had to work hard to hit the big three there and check all the boxes.
Another attendee, Rob Spiewak,
Yes.
suggested that the event be renamed An Evening of Misogyny and Homophobia with Richard Dreyfuss.
Would bring in a different crowd, wouldn't it?
Disappointing doesn't even begin to cover it. The person reported. According to another social media user who said her girlfriend's parents attended the event, Dreyfuss made offensive remarks, including disparaging comments about Barbara Streisand, his co-star
Now, how
in the
do you-
1987 thriller Nuts.
I forgot they worked together. Josh, you should have his contact info. Awesome. Thank you, sir.
So
Appreciate it.
he reportedly also described director Steven Spielberg as a genius but an idiot.
Oh, no. That
You
doesn't
know,
work?
Richard, Richard,
I know.
I know you're angry at something.
Why do you think he's so angry?
Who knows why people are angry? People get that. I've got something in the news today about people. Some people get mellow, some people get angry. But I would say if you're talking about people, senior citizens, I observe them getting a little angrier as they get
Yeah.
older.
suppose.
For the simple reason that you're closer to death.
Well, a lot of people tend to focus on that. Yeah, it makes you
According
crabby.
to ex-user at Sassy Squatch Girl, who claimed to be at the event, in a flip, here's her quote, in a flip of a switch, I would like to say in the flip of a switch, in a flip of a switch, Dreyfuss started to talk about a movie he did with Barbara Streisand, whom he insulted, then literally insulted all women. Then he insulted trans kids. I can't even begin to say how terrible it was. Some people allegedly booed the actor and then walked out, they added. The Independent has contacted representatives of Dreyfuss for comment on the incident. In a statement shared with the Hollywood Reporter on Monday, Cabot Performing Arts Center apologized to attendees. Now, I thought Paulie Christine's love was for the Broadway show about the movie.
No, he loves everything about the movie.
He's
He loves
it's the
whole
movie.
thing, yeah.
We are aware of
Uber
and share serious concerns following the recent event with Richard Dreyfuss. It's just so funny. You know, when controversy rears its ugly head, where there is no business being.
You know who
it was
I think
prior
I know why
to a
he's
screening
mad.
of the film. So
Oh, it was the
It was
before.
before.
I think I know why he's mad is because now he's not needed because we have Paul Giamatti, who can do all the Dreyfuss roles.
well, I mean,
he's been replaced.
He's also older, so I get
Yeah.
how that works.
But he likes to be in the paper, get his picture in the National Geographic,
Wow.
string him up by his Buster Browns.
Did I get the quote from the Cabot Performing Arts Center?
That they apologized.
Yeah,
right?
we are aware of serious. We are aware of and share serious concerns following the recent event. The views expressed by Mr. Dreyfuss do not reflect the values of inclusivity and respect that we uphold as an organization. We deeply regret the distress that this has caused so many of our patrons. The statement continues here.
Oh, good.
We regret that an event that was meant to be a conversation to celebrate an iconic
Yes.
movie instead. What is that?
It's the theme from Jaws.
Oh, okay. I
From
didn't
the
know that was
beginning with
creeping
the
in
water,
there.
yeah.
Was meant to be a conversation to celebrate an iconic movie. Instead, became a platform for political views. We take full responsibility for the oversight and not anticipating the direction of the conversation. They don't need to apologize. They didn't know.
Mr. Dreyfuss, are you excited about the upcoming 4th of July
As long as
holiday?
there are no trans people around.
Do you think we should make America great again?
Hello there. I don't want to talk about the movie. I want to talk about MAGA. Anyway, We take full responsibility, but none of the blame. No, that's a joke from.
Yeah, but I mean, why should the organization have to apologize?
We are in active dialogue with our patrons about their experience and are committed to learning from this event. Love it when they call them patrons. Reminds me of Augusta National. Well, let's let the patrons come in. Well, when are the patrons going to be there?
How many patrons are coming to the rally at the Cabot? Is it the Cabot or
the Cabot Performing Arts Center? And
Cabot, like Sebastian.
The reason
Cabot.
I would love if Paulie would respond to us would be to find out exactly what was said. In my source, now you've got a Variety article there, Josh. Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah, the Variety article I saw over the weekend has his video in it, so it would have the audio of what he said.
Oh.
Let me see if I can pull
that
up
for us. Dreyfuss starred in Jaws alongside Roy Scheider and Robert Shaw. The film, directed by Steven Spielberg.
He's a genius, but he's an idiot,
He's
right?
a genius and an idiot at the same time. Was nominated for Best Picture at the all the way back at I was 17 years old, 1976 Academy Awards. The actor is also known for his performance in other hit 70s movies like American Graffiti and Close Encounters of a Third Kind, where he doesn't have a lot of dialogue.
Why are they? Well, no, but he did a lot of building. He made the Devil's Tower out of
I think
potatoes.
maybe my all-time favorite Steven Spielberg movie is Close Encounters.
Why are they staying away from the Goodbye Girl? How about a little love for Quinn?
How about
Cummings?
Marsha
How about
Mason?
a little love for Marsha Mason? Yeah.
Marsha Mason, married to Paul. Married to the Neil Simon. Neil Simon.
Yeah.
Marsha Mason, who did she do it for you, Rob?
No,
Okay.
not at all. Are you kidding?
I don't
No,
understand.
no. And she's still working. She was on the show The Middle. She played one of the mothers on The Middle.
All right. So the story I read today.
So I've got the video here.
Okay.
If you'd like to see it.
I would love to see it.
It looks like it's about 2 minutes long, so we might need to skip around.
Well, we
but
can
let's
you
see.
can be ready to pause. That would be great. You know. Is he on a cane?
And is he wearing a dress?
Is he wearing?
He appears to be wearing a dress, yes.
They didn't mention that.
Okay, he's got a cane. He takes a fake baseball-like swing.
There's a person up there that's going to interview him. Now they're taking the
stagehands
dress.
are removing the dress.
So if he came out wearing a dress with stagehands, they knew whatever this bit was that he was going to do.
Yeah, now, but so far it's just a guy showing up in a dress. They're playing him on, and this is interesting.
Yeah.
There he is, kind of wearing the old jean shirt, or the blue shirt that.
Yeah. Chambray. He looks like he's having a good time to start out.
He's being silly Richard Dreyfuss.
Yeah.
Now he's got the.
He's chewing on the dress.
Maybe he's had an adult beverage or two. I don't know. Let's see. It's quite an entrance. I'll give him that.
It is.
I'd laugh. What's on his hands?
What's on his hands?
Yeah, Josh, I thought the same thing.
Are they bandages?
Yes, it looks like it.
Now he's putting on a sport jacket.
Yeah, I can't tell. Yeah, it's got to be bandages on his hands.
I'm trying to get a better look myself. It's a
That
grainy
corpse
video.
that's going to interview him.
And is this Paulie's video?
This is Paulie's video.
All right.
But wouldn't you like to have a minute with his phone? Okay.
She's pouring water.
This corpse couldn't look any more disinterested.
She does not seem to be. All right, I'm not. All right.
Okay.
He's wound
so
up.
He's bugging.
Yeah. Is he going for the whole song?
I thought the song ended and started again. Okay, he's back to the cane. He asked.
God, I hate bad audio engineers, you know?
Yeah.
That's his cane.
Still wielding it.
Oops. What happened here?
And that's it.
Oh.
That's the end of the video. His mic falls off and the video ends there.
Oh, so we don't have what he said.
I don't know. I don't know what he said. Did he say something, or is it were
He
people
said-
upset about the dress?
I think he started to say something, and then his mic fell off. It was a
Well, I mean,
lavalier
obviously it
mic.
went on longer than that because people walked out
Yeah.
because of what he said. So that was a disappointment. But, I mean, we'll have to see if we can get an eyewitness account and find out what's happening with old Richie Dreyfuss and find out what happened with that. But
You see, that's weird because he did start. The dress thing is a bit off-putting unless he pays it off later, but he seemed to be having a good time.
yeah, I mean, it's silly. I mean, coming out.
Yeah.
Now, if the dress was a lead-in to some sort of, misogynistic, homophobic ranting, and that's what precipitated it, I have no idea. Some people, it's strange. I watched an interview with Bill Maher on Megyn Kelly.
Okay.
And on her, I guess it's her Sirius show that she does. And he was talking about Trump and the criminal charges. And she said, well, how is it equivalent? Well, and then she immediately said, how would you like your daughter going into a restroom, a ladies' room, and seeing somebody's penis, something like that? And it was like, so obviously this issue is something that is at the forefront of certain people, but I don't know enough about it to speak with any degree of authority on it whatsoever. But if he was wearing the dress to set up a discussion on gender, maybe he was. Maybe he's.
And no better place to set up a discussion of gender than a screening of Jaws. I mean, it's
Doesn't
just
make any
so
sense.
messed up.
Well, I just heard from Paulie. He's going to hop on in a
All
moment.
right, good. Because if he was there, I would love to know. Oh, that's going to be so cool that we're going to be talking to him about it because he will tell us what the real skinny was, and he is the.
And he's a champion of women's rights.
And I want to know what's up with the hands.
Absolutely, about
Yeah.
the bandages and stuff like that, which is super, super cool. And good chance for us to visit with our favorite New Yorker, our favorite Brooklynite, our favorite guy, the foodie of foodies, who knows exactly where to go for every great thing in New York. I just know bits and blurbs about Richard Dreyfuss and the fact that he has, when you're in Hollywood and you come from the right, you get spotlighted because there aren't as many. Everybody out there has a certain political bent that we hear all the time. But
like Scott Baio.
Scott Baio, Kelsey Grammer comes to mind.
Yes, exactly.
James Woods comes to mind. Let me see. There's some other people out there. John Voight has been spotlighted in the past. Yes, it is. It's a who's who, Rob. It is.
It really is.
It is a true
Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood. Thank you.
Is also
There's
on that
a
list.
bigger list, and it goes on. But I mean that's what it's all about. I get it. I understand that, and I'm not. No matter what is said and done, I don't believe that vilifying anybody because they have a differing point of view is something that you want to have. There he is, Paulie! How are you, buddy?
Paisan.
I'm sitting over here and watching Mad Max Fury Road. I'm going to go see Ferosa, whatever the hell her name is, in like 2 hours. And I just look at my phone and go, oh, by the way, they want you in the studio.
I have to say, so Rob, as I start reading this story about Richard Dreyfuss, Rob says, well, I said, Paulie's not there. It's in Beverly, Massachusetts. And then Rob pointed out, I thought you were just super into the Broadway show. And then Rob enlightened me to the fact that you're into all things Jaws. You're like a turbo fan of the movie.
Listen, I'm like poop.
You're everywhere.
You know what
so
I'm saying?
This story, and then was it your video that drops out when he lost his microphone?
At the moment, 99,000 views
of your video.
Of the video.
99,000 disappointed people.
And does that
have all watched the video.
You know what? I got to tell you, it's the way it's playing out. I got to tell you. Do you want to start from the get-go?
I'll lead you into it. And what happened was your video. Just to be clear, your video stops when the microphone falls off. Correct?
Well, you know what it was? It was the stage hands were terrible, not lit at all. It was very dark, And the mic, he should have had a handheld mic. They
Sure.
gave him like a neck
Right.
mic, and it was the audio was terrible. That's why I just got the entrance, and him coming in with the dress on.
Okay.
Doing the whole bit
All
like
right,
that.
so he comes in with the dress. You stop. Do you stop shooting after the mic falls off? Is that when you stop videoing?
Once he sits down, I stopped shooting because you know what? I didn't want to be a pain in the butt to anybody behind me because it was you can see the light reflecting from the video. So I didn't want to do that.
Totally understood.
And they said and the mic stunk.
All right, so the mic stunk, and he gets it back on him, and the audio is not good, is what you're saying. Hard to hear, even in the theater.
Very low, and he speaks kind of low, and he's in his own train of thought as it is. And the woman that's the host is going around on tour with him. So basically, he's going around to a lot of theaters, doing meet and greets, and then coming out, doing a retrospective of his life, career in movies, and then they show the screening of the movie. Right.
So let me ask
that. I
that.
wanted some sexual energy.
I could have done a hell of a lot better. And if anything, she kind of steered him in a certain way. Listen, it was 2 instances of talk that people went.
All right,
nuts
then
about.
let's get to that. Few questions leading up to it. When you got there, is the audience made aware of any kind of time frame as to how long he will be speaking before the movie starts?
Okay, so let's just go back a little. He did New Jersey Pack Center, right? And the way you should do it, and I did the meet and greet. So you should do it. You do a meet and greet. You do the conversation. You show the movie. Because the man has seen the movie, he's been in the movie, living through the movie for 50 years. You don't keep a 76-year-old man waiting 2 hours and 10 minutes, and then let's have a conversation about your life.
All right.
It just
so they
doesn't
front
work that
load
way.
it.
But exactly. So I did the meet and greet. Me and Debbie did the meet and greet. Pleasant as can be, he even actually hit on Debbie. He took a picture with her. I swear to God, it's so funny. He took a picture with a big smile, and as she's walking away, he goes, hey, you, come here for a second. Come back. And I go, Deb, he's talking. Because Debbie, once you turn around, Debbie don't want, she really can't hear that well. And I go, Deb, he wants to speak to you. He goes, I want to get a good look at you. And he's like holding it. I said, oh, are you hitting on my freaking wife? What's
so
your
it's
problem?
lighthearted. It's fun.
Yeah.
Very lighthearted. He's in a great mood, and I've heard he's been very pissy. He's been just a old man,
curmudgeon-y,
disgruntled. Oh, very, very much so. But great.
Okay,
mood,
all right.
Right. So now we do the meet and greet. Everybody sits down. We're going to do the Q&A, and it was slated for 8:00. The movie's going to show at 9:30.
We're talking, just to make it clear, we're talking about the Beverly Center. I mean, the Beverly Center. The Cabot Theater, not the Beverly Center.
Cabot Theater in Beverly, Mass.
Beverly, Mass. Cabot Theater. You do a meet and greet at that particular event before he comes out, and his mood, in your opinion, was he was pretty good.
Joyful.
Okay.
Joyful, in a great mood, big smiles. I mean, I brought a Jaws clapboard that they used in 74. He wanted to take a bite out of it. I mean, he was really into it.
And then you go into the audience, and
and I'm in the first row. I'm in the first row balcony, so there's nobody in front of us. And they, ladies and gentlemen, Richard
makes
Dreyfuss.
his entrance in the dress. Did you know that he was going to be coming out in a dress?
No clue. Everybody got a big laugh out of it.
This guy coming out in a dress.
His little
funny.
prancing.
Right.
And it's kind of sad. You see the guy with a cane, and he's walking kind of wobbly with the cane.
Josh wanted to know: did he have bandages on his hands? What were the white things on his hands?
Yeah, that was the lighting. Yeah. There was nothing going on with his hands because, like I said, when we met him, nothing wrong with his hands. Shook my hand. Everything was fine. So he comes out. He does the whole 9 yards with the dress. He takes it off. And he finally sits down, and I'm like, you know what? This could go on for about 60 minutes. I'm just not going to videotape anymore. And it was terrible. Like I said, it was not lit right. It's mic stunk. So I just put it down. So now they go into the respective of his career.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm.
That's all right. Go ahead.
About that.
No.
Because I know you would kill Rob when he would say words like this.
No
so anyway, He goes into his career, and it gets to the point of talking about him with Barbara Streisand in the movie
Okay.
Nuts. And he says, well, she has her own ways about doing things, and she wanted to come across doing this certain scene. And he goes, have you ever been in a jury before? Ever been in court? She goes, no. Well, the words you think you're going to say that's going to be so shocking, it's said every single day in court. Like the offensive words, whatever, because she played a prostitute that murders a guy in the movie. So now he goes into a whole tirade of basically women he still feels that should be in the kitchen and not be heard. He still has that 1950s, 1940s mentality about how women should
So
be.
is he referencing
So
Barbara Streisand when he says that? I'm trying to get the gist of what was said here.
Yeah, he leads that way. Basically, like, you should take direction this way. I'm recommending to you. Don't think that what you're saying is an original thought. That I recommend just do it this way, and like telling her what you should do. And that's where he went into about women being, like, you should look pretty and not be heard. So people go, ooh, So now the hostess, instead of go, okay, let's go on to another story, she goes, well, what do you think about the Me Too movement?
Oh, okay.
Wow.
All right. So she is she
became an instigator.
She is an ally in moving this conversation into this direct. She's probably doing this because he wants her to do this, correct?
No, I'm telling you, it just came out of nowhere. She said that to say that to him, and then he went on a little bit of a tirade about how he feels how women should be and how women should act and this and that. And then he goes into about kids' genders.
Okay. How did that give us as much specific if you can?
Go ahead, Josh. He felt they said, you don't have a 10-year-old come up to you and tell you what sexuality they should be. You should be telling them at that age that they should be a boy or a girl.
Okay, so he is moving into an area where that has absolutely nothing to do with A, Jaws, B, his career, or any of this, and he's just ranting about something that obviously he wants to talk about.
Right. It was on all of a sudden that became on his mind, and then all of a sudden here came the booze. I heard a guy actually get up and go, "Good night, Grandpa," and walk right out of the theater.
So the theater's turning on him a little bit.
You know what, Mike? I got to tell you, they made like a lot of people left. I heard, in actuality, maybe about 30 people left, and it was a sold out show.
Okay. All right.
How much did it cost to go to this show? Not the meet and greet, but just the show.
Maron. Hey, Maron, Rob, Maron.
Well, okay, I'll tell you. The meet and greet for me, and doing the show cost me $300 a pop.
Okay. All right. But I mean, if you're a Turbo fan and he's the big star, you know.
It was over $100.
Okay.
Wow.
So he talks about he talks about Barbara Streisand. Can you give us, Josh? Do you have a direct quote about the Barbara Streisand thing at all, or Paulie? Give us to the best of your ability. Give us you don't have to paraphrase, but what exactly did he say? How did he say it about Barbara Streisand?
He thought that she was a great actress, one of the greatest actresses that he's ever worked with. But it's that she should stay in her lane. You don't know everything.
Was the phrase?
Well, wait, hold on, Rob. I just want
to
just for a second here. So it sounds to me staying in her lane means great actress, but she shouldn't have tried to direct people, right? She shouldn't have tried to put it.
Especially, she wasn't directing that film itself. She wasn't. She was an actress
so
in the film.
Obviously put off. He was put off that she was trying to, she would go on to be a director and producer and all that, and he was offended that a woman was doing this, and it kind of came across that way.
Mike, who likes a pushy broad?
And so he's curmudgeon-y and he's ranting, and it's just not appropriate. That's what I'm getting from this, right?
Right. But I'm telling you, and he brought up The Shark is Broken.
The
also
Broadway
because
show.
he went to go.
Yeah.
Yes, that I saw 10,000 times. So he basically said, he went to the show, he met the cast, he was very pleasant with the cast, but then he went on Variety website and was like, "That was the worst thing I've ever seen. How insulting it was. I never had this feud with Robert Shaw," and that's all BS because there's a documentary called "The Shark Is Still Working."
Yeah.
And Roy Scheider himself on video to the camera says Shaw was at Dreyfuss constantly, saying that you're a young whippersnapper. Who do you think you are? I mean, this is from Roy Scheider saying this. So now Dreyfuss, everybody's dead except for Carl Gottlieb and
Right.
Spielberg. So who's going to tell? Dead man tell no tale.
Yeah, and Spielberg's
So
going to
now he
rise
made
above the
history, made his
fray,
own
probably
history.
not say anything about it
Right.
either, right? That's so it's
Yeah.
going to go
Right.
down. So, did you get a sense after? Well, obviously, 2 hours and 10 minutes after this all goes down, anybody that's in the theater, that's kind of like the magic eraser, where everybody kind of is chilling out. But were people still buzzing about this after the movie was over, or?
Well, no. Well, hold on a second, because you have an intermission before the movie starts.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So people do go out
Right,
into the
so-
lobby, and everybody's like, "What is the
Right,
deal
right,
with this
right.
guy?"
Right. And I was fortunate enough. I called up the Cabot Theater. I have a lot of Jaws memorabilia, lobby stills, illustrations, and I called up the theater. I said, "Hey, listen, are you guys doing anything special for the weekend?" And the guy's like, "Well, I don't know." I said, "Well, I have all this stuff." They made a display case. I shipped out all my stuff, and they had a display case of all my stills and everything up in the balcony.
Oh, okay. All right.
So it was a little extra thing or something going on. So listen, and just to get back to what Dreyfuss was, my wife is as open-minded as can be, and she did not get offended by anything because she knew where it was coming from. You understand? It's like Archie Bunker was up on stage and said what he had to say, and it's Archie Bunker because this is not the first time Richard Dreyfuss has spoken about anything this way that might offend somebody.
Right.
So you know what you're getting, and then a lot of comments from the video that I put on Facebook is that, well, what are you expecting? You paid to hear the man's opinions about whatever he might say on stage, and how you just let it be. Let him say what he's got to say. He's on there for an hour. You know what you're dealing with now, and let it go. Don't make such a.
Do you think
a big
he wore
thing
the
out of it.
dress because he wanted to talk about that kind of stuff,
No. I think he tried just to be funny.
has he worn the dress anywhere else? Is what I'd like to know. See if he's.
I don't know. I think it would have
To his wedding, he wore it.
Right.
But that's it.
I think that would have came out in comments when people saw it previously that he did that. Mm-hmm. So that was the first time.
And you're absolutely. I mean,
dress
he
code.
has said controversial things in other platforms when he's been interviewed. He's always done that. And
the whole Oscar is about diversity. He says that makes me want to vomit.
Yeah.
He's said comments like all that, and the whole thing. He's on a big civics kick right now. He wrote a book about civics that it's not in education anymore, and we're going to lose America by 2050. We're not going to have a real America anymore, but with civics. So this is the rantings of a 76-year-old
76-year-old bigot. Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
sure.
right. So, do you think that that this will derail the tour? That he's obviously going to other cities and stuff like that?
Not at all, because Mike, at the end, I have another video of him talking, and Variety did not take that video. They only took the beginning.
At the end, after the movie?
I have another video. Yes. No. After when he left the stage, I got him leaving the stage also, and it's about 6 minutes long. And if you want on YouTube, it's Paulie Flicks. If anybody wants to see it, he talked a little bit about the book, and he got a round of applause. There was no booze anymore.
Okay.
Mike.
All right.
So
the audience, in a sense, was still with him, because after all that nonsense happened, they went back to talking about movies, and they ended off with Jaws, and he got applause. He got hoots and hollers. There was no more. He did mention, well, I was with a Republican friend of mine, and blah 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 blah, and someone yelled out, "Who was your idiot friend?"
So I mean, but so it's funny when he would mention because you would think that with his politics that he would be saying a Republican friend of mine. I would assume he might be a Republican, but I guess this guy's just he shoots his mouth off a little bit and it gets him in trouble, and he does it. Obviously, he does it there. Would you agree with the fact that nobody that was in that audience, that by and large people nobody was in there wanting to hear Richard Dreyfuss speak about gender or women in the kitchen or any of that crap. They wanted to hear him talk about his career and his experience.
Exactly. It's the same thing. And let's go back to Streisand. I don't want to pay $500 to see Barbara Streisand go on a political rant. And she's done that millions and millions of times and wasted 20 minutes where she could have sang 4 more songs.
Okay. All right.
Like that. We come to be entertained.
Little false equivalency there, Paulie. Little false equivalency there. No, I'm just kidding. I know you're Paulie, you're being very balanced. I know your politics. I know you're being very balanced about it, and I appreciate that, and I respect that 100%.
Listen, everybody has listen. That's what makes us Americans. That's what makes us human beings. However you feel and however you vote, there is
a difference. Let me just explain this. The reason there's trouble here is that when politics is one thing, but when it bleeds into prejudice, when it bleeds into bigotry, then that's when we're dealing with it right now. I'm of the belief when it comes to comedy and when it comes to jokes and the joke reality out there that you have to be aware of comedy. If somebody's delivering a comedic routine or somebody's doing stand-up, if you're up there and you're a movie star and you're saying bigoted things that are not designed to be funny at all, then you open yourself up, and I'm talking from an objective standpoint, you probably open yourself up to more controversy because you're not trying to be funny, you're trying to give your point of view, and the difference is that point of view, if it's strictly political, it's probably not what people want to hear, but there's a difference between saying something, espousing your political beliefs, and then just ranting in a way that, all women should be in the kitchen, she should stay in her lane, you shouldn't be, you should tell a trans kid. It just, that involves a situation where people can be hurt by that. That's the difference. Right. And as far as the trans issue, I'm not going to get into that right here, but I do understand that when you're talking about people that are transgender, people that are gay, people that you have a history of discrimination against people that include, bodily harm and murder. And when you're in those areas, it's different than just saying, I believe in this political candidate or I believe in these causes and we should be doing that. It's not the equivalent when you are doing stuff that is what I would categorize as a bigoted statement about women should be this, women should be this, parents should tell their kids this. It's difficult when you get into those social issues and it goes beyond just talking politics.
You know what it is, Mike, too? Like I said, I guess when you reached in your 70s and 76 and you've been through, you become with the I don't give an F.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure that he's and he's got probably all the money and he doesn't have to worry about that. But
well, you know what? Him doing these, he does a lot of conventions, signing stuff, and he does a lot. He's doing this tour. This is most I've seen of this year because it's gearing up next year's the 50th
so he might
anniversary.
Need the bucks to do that. Yeah.
But also, I think it might feed the ego too.
Absolutely.
To have that many people still show up. Paulie, I got to know, when you get picked up by Variety, do they contact you or do you contact them?
They just snatch it.
Oh, really?
They snatch my video. No, without my permission.
Take it.
No permission? Wow.
No. We should get a press release out because we got the exclusive with Paulie Christine, ladies and gentlemen, right here. Paulie, thank you for doing that. It was really short notice. We reached out immediately. We didn't tell you before the show, before we taped, and you are so nice to come on so quickly and give us the
I'd run to the hills for you.
God
know,
bless
I love
you, brother.
so very much. I do.
I
anything for you
appreciate
guys.
that.
You know
Thanks
that.
so much for coming on, and best to Deb. And really, we appreciate all the support. And we'll all wait and see how this plays out. I have no idea. Nobody knows about that. Yes, Paulie, final word from you.
Did you like the menu yesterday?
I didn't see it yet. I did not see it. You got a Memorial Day menu?
Of
Keep them
course.
coming, brother.
Of
Keep them
course.
coming.
And hopefully, Rob, could you reach out for Paulie promos?
Oh, yeah.
eventually.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Send 'em along.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Paulie promos.
I hear a motto. I hear a motto.
Thanks, Paulie. We'll
later.
take a break
Bye-bye.
here, and we will come back with the little table, the round table.
Oh, what shape
It's
is it?
round, and all
see.
that wonderful stuff. That was so cool. I really enjoyed every minute
Yeah.
of that. That was delightful, and there you heard it from an
We
eyewitness.
got him before he went to the movie theater, Mike. It was.
I
good
didn't know
timing.
we'd have an eyewitness. That was super good. What a great start to the week, ladies and gentlemen.
Here's a speed tour of the latest bonus show.
Hey, f***ers. He was nicknamed Edward the Caresser.
That is a terrible stick figure, but he's wearing a crown.
Right in the butt.
And make sure if someone's following too close to brake check them heavily.
Catch all the uncensored fun and hijinks every Friday. Get a subscription now at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
We're all out of spaces, Mr. Theismann. Hey, everybody. In a world filled with distractions, finding focus can feel like an impossible task. Introducing this product right here. Probably, let me zoom in on it for you. Hold on just a second. We're going to show it to you. It's called Magic Mind. I'm going to zoom in right there.
Look at that.
Magic Mind. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. The mental performance shot, ladies and gentlemen, that is sweeping the nation right now. It's revolutionizing, productivity with this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful product with mushroom nootropics, adaptogens, and essential vitamins. Magic Mind helps you stay focused, clear, and productive. And I'm going to do it right now, and it tastes good, too. All right?
It does. You know what it tastes like to me? It tastes like a little bit of grapefruit juice and a little bit of ginger, but it's a great flavor.
Sharper mind,
And here
lower
goes Mike.
stress, better energy. And I love the taste. I love this stuff. I really, really do.
One a day. One a day is all
It's
you need.
fantastic. What sets Magic Mind apart, it's backed by over 200 scientific studies and was developed over 10 years, not 100 years. Magic Mind is crafted with precision and care with organic ingredients, time-released caffeine, and stress-reducing herbs. It's the key to unlocking your full potential, isn't it, Rob?
It is. It's fantastic. I've been on it now for about 2 weeks, and I do feel, you know what? I feel clearer of mind. I take it a half hour before the show, and I've gotten forgetful in my old age. It helps me with that. I just think
It's got a
clearer.
risk-free
I love it.
guarantee. It's never been easier to experience the magic for yourself. Unlock your full potential with Magic Mind. Right now, there's a limited time offer that gets you up to 48% off your first subscription or 20% off one-time purchases with the code, you know it, you love it, TMOS at checkout. Claim it at magicmind.com/TMOS. And we want to thank Magic Mind for being an advertiser of the Mike O'Mara Show. Reclaim your brain. There we are.
Thank you.
Oh, we got to do the thing now. Sorry, forgot.
Yeah. Oh, look at the Kraken. He's doing a misogynistic rave out.
God, that was so cool to have Paulie right there. And, I understand exactly what's going down with that. But, the guy's done this a lot. And do you think there'll be any fallout from it? Do you think that there will be anything?
I think someone else will do something stupid tomorrow, and it's
I
done.
agree. I think you're probably right about that. And sometimes relevance has to do with it, whether...
Yes.
And his next date is in Texas, so I think he'll be okay.
Oh
Absolutely.
my God, he might be. They'll make him governor.
That's funny. Move over, dad bods and golden retriever boyfriends. You've been replaced by rat-faced men. Hear me out. There's a new thing called rodent handsome. It refers to guys who are more svelte than muscular, with pinched, angular features that are not considered conventionally handsome. They also display the opposite of toxic masculinity, and they're not afraid to publicly show love to their partners in a, quote, slightly weird but sexy. That's what they say.
Kyle Mooney.
The phenomenon has gained a lot of traction thanks to the two guys Zendaya, I'll be talking about her later in the show, messes around with in that new tennis movie Challengers. Josh O'Connor has been compared to Roddy St. James, the rat from the movie Flushed Away. Do you know any of the? I mean,
I don't know that
I know
movie.
nothing of what I just said. And people think Mike Faced looks like Stuart Little. Well, I know Stuart Little.
Oh, well, I know Stuart Little.
Of course
I love
you
a mouse
do.
in
You know
porno
everything
pants.
I know and nothing I don't. Other sexy rodent men include Kieran Culkin, Tom Hiddleston, Jeremy Allen White, Logan Lerman, Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, and Taylor Swift's ex-boyfriend Matty Healy. As far as Dune, the movie I watched over the weekend, that's Timothée Chalamet, right? Isn't that who is in Dune?
Yeah.
And he's kind of an angular, svelte
We just,
dude.
Josh, you just popped up a rat. Who is that?
This is Mike Face.
Okay.
Oh, okay. He is rat.
I get it.
Very much.
I
so.
totally understand it. That's it.
Send him some cheese.
That's the new thing. The dad bods didn't last long at all, I guess.
No.
Kevin McAllister's house. I've heard about this before. This has been on the market before. The Home Alone house hit the market, $5.25 million. It is located in a suburb of Chicago, has 5 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms. The outside of the house still looks just like it did in the movie, but the inside, totally renovated. It has a movie theater with a Home Alone poster and large Kevin Lego figure. It also has a basketball court in the basement. So it's a sheesh. It's a
I made me a Lego Macaulay
Culkin,
and I put it in my basement.
Duh! Do you think? I mean, I would like to know comparables in that neighborhood and how much that ups the price. That's what I'd like to know.
Could be, but I think that Paulie's going to buy it and put it in a movie theater lot.
Barbara Streisand should stay in her lane. That's just funny. The Lion King celebrates its 30th anniversary this year. Did you know Can You Feel the Love Tonight was supposed to be sung entirely by the characters Timon and Pumbaa?
I did not know that. That's one of them is Nathan Lane.
Nathan
right?
Lane voices Timon and says Elton John stopped that from happening. Quote from Nathan Lane: Elton John was mortified. He said, the reason I wrote the score was because I wanted to have a Disney love song. I didn't want it to be sung by the rat and the pig.
That's great.
Ernie Sabella was the pig. Ernie Sabella and I sang the whole thing in our character voices. It's hard to do that and be romantic. Elton was right. That's from Nathan Lane.
Yeah.
In the final version that you hear in the movie, Timon and Pumbaa are only at the beginning and end of the song. So there's that. So
I watched that movie when it came out. I haven't seen it since, but I remember it as being a pretty good movie.
yeah, it was. And I think The Lion King's fantastic. Really, one of the best animated features. And I'm not an animated feature guy. We're entering a new season, and that can be a time for optimism as we walk into summer, or I guess just more whining about inflation and politics. A new survey asked people if they feel more positive or negative as they age. I wish we had Richard Dreyfuss here to.
I think I know what you
Totally more negative. 18% of people say their mood has become a lot more positive as they've aged, and 26% more say they're generally more positive. Only 5% say they feel like they're becoming a lot more negative with each passing year, while 19% think they're slowly becoming more of a downer. 33% don't. These stats are all over the place without any clarity. 33%.
Richard Dreyfuss took the poll.
33% don't notice much difference either way. There they are. I've been a curmudgeon since I was 28 years old. So
I'm definitely getting more negative as I age.
Of those who notice themselves feeling more negative, the average person says they start feeling more sour at the age of 42.
Oh, well, of course. That's what the age Elvis was when he died. It ruined his
It's also when you start losing your vision. The slow descent to to total
Yeah,
blindness.
it's true.
That's what it
You
is.
start leaving readers around all
Exactly.
the house.
Readers. Where are my readers? I can't find
Where
my
are my readers
readers,
at?
everybody. Thank you. However, let's move on right now and let's give us the hamburger story. Yeah, I've got it right here.
Oh, I love the
The
hamburger,
hamburger story right now. It's National Hamburger
Yeah.
Day. Always May 28th, which happens to be the day after Memorial Day. If you didn't get your fill of burgers yesterday, a few national chains have specials going on today. All right, come on? Okay, play the thing for God's sake, all the way.
This is a tasty burger.
Jesus Christ!
It is a tasty
If you didn't get
burger.
your fill of burgers, here we go. Wendy's handing out junior bacon cheeseburgers for a penny. Burger King marking their 70th birthday with a full week of deals. Arby's rewards members can get half off. I said it like they're rewarding members. Arby's rewards members. I hate the reward programs. Hate them. Hate them. Hate it.
Oh, Mike, you go into Arby's and they say, "Welcome to Arby's. Here's
Here's the reward." No, the club members, reward members, can get half off a burger between now and Sunday.
Who's a fan of
Thank
Arby's?
you.
Screw that.
Dave & Buster's has 50% off burgers for loyalty members. Yeah, and then you can go in and pay $10,000 for
Exactly.
skee ball.
They should give the food.
Jack
away.
in the Box has free Jumbo Jacks. What are Jumbo Jacks? I have no idea.
That's their big burger. The hardest thing about getting the deal at Jack in the Box is finding the time machine to go out and find a Jack.
Getting
in
to
the Box.
Poughkeepsie, New York.
Yes.
Jack in the Box has free Jumbo Jacks if you spend $1. So there's that.
Then it's not free, is it?
But but I'll tell you, this guy likes it a lot.
This is a tasty burger.
And Mike, I'd like to send this out to our Spanish-speaking friends. Hamburguesa con queso.
This is a tasty burger.
I always use the hell out of it, don't I? You send me these things, I play them to the label. Don't all the time. I really, really do. And that's not Vincent. That's Julius.
That's Julius,
That's Julius
exactly.
who likes the burger. On Friday, the TSA said it screened 2.95 million airline passengers. That is a new record for the most ever on a single day. They haven't said how many people flew yesterday. The previous record of 2.91 million was set back in November. So with all the whining about inflation, seems like people are getting to the airport. The airline industry is anticipating...
Can't drive to the Richard Dreyfuss Show, Mike, in Massachusetts. You got to fly.
The airline industry is anticipating a record summer travel season with an estimated 271 million passengers, up 6.3% from last year. In Atlanta, the world's busiest airport, yuck. It had its busiest
Bad
day
airport.
ever. The Atlanta International Airport broke a traffic record on Thursday. They don't call it Hartsfield anymore? Do they not call it Hartsfield?
I think they do. I think they're just dumbing it down.
111,000 passengers, crew, and airport employees were screened at security checkpoints. The second
It
busiest
was
day
horrible.
followed on Friday when just under 110,000 were screened.
Mike, it is bad. About once a week, I go into Reagan National Airport just to get lunch because I like the restaurants there. And it was just so crowded. Horrible. Can't do it.
Because we've had all the discussion about Richard Dreyfuss, as I give you my final story here, I should preface it by saying the end of this story will include a joke that some might consider politically incorrect. It is in no way represent the way I feel. It is simply
All right,
being...
Josh wrote the joke?
No, don't throw him under the bus.
Do you need a minute to go put on your dress?
No, I'm fine. Please. And I would appreciate it, Rob, if you would support me. If you feel...
I always
If
do.
you feel... I do, but I will not make you do anything you don't feel. If you feel like this is funny, please don't hesitate to laugh.
All
Thank
right.
you. With that said, I give you my final story in the round table today, ladies and gentlemen.
Good setup.
Beyond Yoga and Wellness owner Ashley Bousquet teaches Piglet Yoga and says there is such demand that online registrations for Piglet Yoga typically sell out within hours. The classes invite participants to interact with real baby pigs, piglets,
Real babies.
who come from a friend's farm. Here's the quote.
Yes.
During the class, you have piglets causing mischief and running on you, on top of you, or cuddling with you. That's according to the owner. It's super cute. Amy Finkel, a customer, brought her 2 daughters with her, smiled broadly when snapping photos of the piglets as the girls hugged a rabbit. I guess there was a rabbit there also. I'm not sure.
Of course. Yes.
And this is from Amy Finkel. Amy Finkel says, seeing them so joyful and happy was the high point, she said. The low point, when it was over, because it just seemed to go so quickly. Now, I asked Carla if she has ever seen a pig at a yoga class, and she said all the time. There you are, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, everybody.
Mike, I think you sold it just right.
Little qualifier before we'll take a break and
trigger alert, Mike.
Hey, we're gonna have a little baseball talk with our executive producer and all-around good guy, Josh.
I'm gonna head up to the
Soroka,
kitchen then.
because you see, my team is playing his team right now. And it might be going the way you would expect if I'm going to talk about it. We'll be right back, everybody, on the Mike O'Mara Show. Thank you. Thank you all very much. Hey, this podcast sponsored by Marley Spoon, the best tasting meal kit money can buy. And with the code TMOS, you can get up to 25 free meals with Marley Spoon. You can choose from over 100 delicious recipes every week, from Cajun spiced chicken to poached salmon to butternut squash gnocchi to a vegan burrito bowl. Whether you're looking for vegetarian meals, family-friendly dishes, or low-carb options, which I look for, Marley Spoon can customize the food you want to eat. Rob, I know you are loving the Marley Spoon right now.
What I love about it is it's not just an entree, it's a whole meal. Their steak au poivre with the spinach salad on the side, forget about it. You're making a pan sauce just like the finest chefs in Europe, but you're doing it in 20 minutes in your kitchen. They give you the meat, they give you all the ingredients, and it's
Experience
delicious.
the most personalized meal kit today with Marley Spoon. Head to marleyspoon.com/offer/TMOS and use the code TMOS for up to 25 free meals. Make sure the word offer is lowercase. Remember, up to 25 free meals with Marley Spoon. One last time, marleyspoon.com/offer lowercase/TMOS for up to 25 free meals, or click the button on our website. Easy. Make sure you use our promo code TMOS so they know that we sent you. All right, so let's bring in Mr. Soroka here. Yesterday, the Baltimore Orioles, Josh's team, he's such a fan, he has a podcast. Section 122, which is all over. That's it, right? That's
close enough.
No,
well, you don't want to.
No, come on. I'm setting you up to give your real location.
I know. It's section 336.
Section 336, where he really does have, with his family, his season tickets. And the Baltimore Orioles took on, in Camden Yards, the Boston Red Sox and beat them yesterday 1,400 to nothing.
Wow, a real offensive bat.
The Red Sox got absolutely housed. It was like 11-3 or something like that.
It was 11-3.
It was terrible.
And it was a lot of hits. I told you you'd get to know the name of the Oriole players as the season goes on, as they play your Red Sox, because I think every player got a hit for the Orioles yesterday. There were no home runs to get those 11 runs.
That's great. And Mike, everybody also got a trophy, and I think that's nice.
It made me realize that my team is not ready for prime time just yet. They've been up and down, my beloved Boston Red Sox, but this was the quote, and this is maybe the reason I brought the whole thing to the show today. Not only because Josh is a huge Orioles fan and I'm a huge Red Sox fan, but this is my quote. I wrote it down from Michael William O'Mara. Why do all our teams suck?
That's so true.
Watched it today. It's very, very frustrating. And I know that you being an Orioles fan, you are feeling the magic this year. Oriole magic, da-da-da-da-da. And you feel...
Was there a song in the day? Oriole magic?
Right?
Yes.
I know my Orioles history a little bit, you know?
Yeah, no, that's that song is stuck in my head all the time.
And it's...
well, that's good.
It's... Yeah, no, they're playing great, and the Red Sox aren't having a horrible year. They're middle of the pack.
And you've got
how kind.
Let me give you my little pieces of Baltimore Oriole history right here. You have the guy that spelled out Orioles for years and years.
Wild
Bill Hagee, I know him. You have the Baltimore Bird. Do they still dance on the dugout? Thank God I'm a country boy. Do they still do that?
Every game.
They don't any longer do the thing where the PA announcer says, "Give that fan a contract." Do they do that?
No. When Rex Barney left,
Rex Barney was the longtime PA announcer for the Baltimore Orioles, and
he was, if I recall, he was 7 foot tall and a purple dinosaur.
Give that fan a contract. I missed that. hey, to all my friends, I love you. You love me. Red Sox stink and make me pee with a great big hug and a kiss to Jaron Duran, strike out again or be a man. Anyway, very, very, very frustrating. Now, as far as the Orioles are concerned, I remember Wild Bill Hagee. I remember, thank God I'm a country boy. Give that fan a contract. I remember the play-by-play announcers, some of the great ones that have gone through that booth. You've got Gary Thorne, legendary TV broadcaster, no longer doing it, right?
Mike, was there not a Joe Angel?
There was a Joe Angel, and there was a John Miller. John Miller, legendary broadcaster.
John Miller,
I think Ken Coleman may have called Oriole games for a while. I'm not sure.
Yeah. John Miller is the one that got fired for not being a big enough fan.
That's it. That's right, because he was a little too even keel, and the Angelos family didn't like that. Correct, Josh?
Yes, and best news for the Orioles this season is the Angelos family is
done.
Out. Team was sold like a week before opening day.
Do you believe that might have something to do with the direction of the team changing?
No. We got Mike Elias, a new GM, about 5 years ago, and they told us then, hey, it's going to be some bad years again as we rebuild the farm system, and that's where we're at now. I think we've had 4 seasons of the #1 farm system in baseball leading up to this.
Right. And if you ever want to go online and see the greatest manager in the history of the sport, in my humble opinion, the Earl of Baltimore, Earl Weaver, and some of the great rants and the great arguments. And, we played it a short time ago. You're here for one reason and one reason only, to F us. And I just loved every minute of that. Absolutely loved every minute of it.
When is the best time to put in a tomato plant?
Yeah, he did a fake fake interview one time, which was fantastic.
Yeah, so great.
And we still grow tomatoes in the center field thanks to Rex.
That's great. That's fantastic that they do that. And the legendary players that have come through Memorial Stadium and Camden Yards, guys like Frank Robinson, Boog Powell, Paul Blair, Don Buford, Dave McNally, Jim Palmer. How's that for Oriole history, huh?
That's very good.
That's good.
Why I know those?
About
I
Cal?
know those names because they kicked our ass for a long time. That's why that happened,
So it's anchored in hatred.
And I'm trying right now. If I go through the Red Sox lineup, it's tough for me to. I can't get the. There's Jaron Duran. There's Tyler O'Neill,
Fred Lynn,
Carl Yastrzemski, Pedro Martinez, Big Papi. Anyway, that's it. So another game tonight, right? Tonight at Camden Yards?
Yeah, 6:35.
You're going to be flying up from St. Augustine for the game tonight?
No, I'm going up in a couple weeks.
All right, we got to take a break. We will come back with more fun and more thrills. Ladies and gentlemen, Memorial Day weekend food, please.
Fud. Good fud.
Let me grill the chicken. A message to Carla's family. Please, when we come back on the Mike O'Mara Show. Just think of all the time and money your family invested. Excuse me.
What is that about? Is that some of the
I'll
chicken?
rewind it. Just think of all the time and money your family invested to capture family vacations, football games, birthdays, even your wedding or weddings, plural. Recording a lifetime of memories was a commitment. Camcorders cost thousands of dollars. Tapes were expensive, and cameras required film and developing. Legacy Box exists to preserve your family's...
Filming what?
Legacy Box preserves your family's cameras developing.
That's what I like.
No, it's a prompter, Rob, so it's like 10 miles behind when you make me go back. I didn't know where you went. Legacy Box exists to preserve your family's recorded moments. It's the simple and safe solution for digitizing all your memories. Go to legacybox.com/TMOS, and you can enjoy an exclusive offer just for our listeners. Legacy Box digitizes over 15 different types of analog media, so whatever you got, they've got you covered. One of my mom's favorite gifts ever was a video I made when she turned 80. I love that. I still love to watch it. You owe it to your family to safeguard your memories. Don't let your photos continue to fade. Become your family's hero and save them before it's too late. Buy a Legacy Box today. Visit legacybox.com/TMOS to shop this exclusive offer. That's legacybox.com/TMOS. And Rob Spiewak, before we get to, well, I'll say it briefly and then we'll get to why you and I are simpatico.
Okay.
The boneless chicken thighs, barbecue chicken thighs, one of my wife's summer staples. She made them this weekend on they're parboiled and then finished on the grill.
Does she marinate?
She marinates them to a degree, but not in this particular case. I've had them both ways. As long as you put on, if you would like, and I'm going to give them a plug here, even though they don't advertise, as long as you put the Sweet Baby Rays on there, they are fantastic. So, but what you don't do is you finish them on the grill to get just that glaze to stick on the meat. What you don't do, Carla's family, is nuke them. This idea that poultry has to be nuclear holocausted at every single opportunity. Please don't do that, because it's one thing.
Chicken is not beef. Chicken is not beef. It doesn't need searing temperatures.
It's really terrible. Anyway, just wanted to share that, and now I want to know why you think we are simpatico.
Mike, there is a study that reveals that men are more likely to be friends. This is why you and I get along if they don't share the same taste in women.
Okay, all right. I'm inclined to agree with that.
And I think that
I think it's a source, especially when you're talking about being out and about, when you're single and you're running with a bunch of guys. There's probably conflict that would arise when two men have the same type. I've been in relationships with guys that had the same type, and I usually came out on the losing end, and it always caused me a great deal of consternation and also murder.
No murder. I was thinking back, for example, a great example here is Jennifer Garner.
Mm-hmm.
That's your ideal.
I don't know. I don't know
Jennifer
if I would
Garner.
call her my ideal, but I believe.
Oh, but you do love her.
She is. I love her in the girl next door category because she is just so. Why are you chuckling at me?
Because now it's getting a little creepy.
Why?
Because
she's the Ivory Girl. She's like.
I'm looking at you
just
through the window.
Okay, let me,
Mrs. Craig.
Let me explain myself, please.
Hi, Mrs. O'Mara. This is Jennifer Garner next door. Your son is looking through the blinds again.
Jennifer.
Oh, Mrs. Craig. You are green, so you can hide.
She is a fresh-faced. Natural beauty that is pretty without being Hollywood glam squad pretty. Glam squad.
What about glam squad? What about Julia Roberts?
I like Julia Roberts as well. I like Julia Roberts. I think she is she's got kind of that same thing going on. I like women with strong jawlines. Just the same reason I'm attracted sexually to Jay Leno. That's what it is.
Hi, Mrs. O'Mara. This is Jay Leno next door.
He's been waiting around my garage with all my cars, and I don't understand why he's doing that. It's just really, he said he wants to have sex with me.
I love these calls coming into Mrs. O'Mara. Hi, Mrs. O'Mara. It's Jay Leno. Julia Roberts. Throw out some other ones that.
Okay, well, for example, how do you feel about Jennifer Love Hewitt?
I like Jennifer Love Hewitt. We agree on that.
Okay, now see, there's one we agree on.
Would you like to tell the story The Jennifer Love Hewitt story.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how many people in their marriages have a get-out-of-jail-free card. A celebrity that you would be allowed to pursue and score with no penalty.
No penalty at all.
Okay?
You do with Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Yeah, and that is and I've discussed it with Carrie, is Jennifer Love Hewitt. Not the Jennifer Love Hewitt of today, as much as the Jennifer Love Hewitt of
when she was on TV
15 years ago.
I get it.
And so that was the ideal for me at the time. And she was dating a guy that had an MTV reality show. God, I can't even think of his name because he's so inconsequential. But they were dating. And we had this inconsequential guy as a guest. Jamie Kennedy. Thank you. We had Jamie Kennedy as a guest on the
Jamie Kennedy
version,
was very hot at that particular time.
Yes, of our show. And when he showed up, and we were in the studio, and the green room was just down like maybe 2 doors down. Jennifer Love Hewitt came with him. And she did not have any interest in coming on the show. And further, Beth Ann, the root of all the great things that have ever happened to me, comes up to us and says...
It's our old producer.
Listen, Jamie Kennedy is here, and he's in the green room, and Jennifer Love Hewitt, but you're not allowed to go see her. You can't look at her because she doesn't want that. And I said, you're kidding me. Jennifer Love Hewitt is like 15 feet from me, and I'm not allowed to even walk by and see her. Rob, don't ruin this. Don't ruin this for me. Don't ruin this for the show. You're not allowed to look at Jennifer Love Hewitt. And
we were the enemy. We were the enemy. We were not the ally. We were the enemy.
And I missed my chance. And what makes it even worse, I never got to sleep with her, Mike. And what makes it worse,
I forced the issue.
You walked by and said hi to her.
I walked right down.
I
walked right down the hallway. And said, like I didn't know she was there, and it was so.
Oh, hello,
well, hello,
Jennifer
nice
Love
to see you.
Hewitt,
Thanks for coming on the show. Well, hello, nice to meet you. That's all it was. But I wasn't going to let her out of there without shaking her hand or at least saying hello.
And you told me that after the fact.
I know you didn't get a chance because you. Would you not agree that during the history of both the Don and Mike show and my radio show, you were the celebrity stalker of celebrity stalkers?
Yeah, but I don't think ever in a creepy way.
No, but you had to have your
pleasant.
souvenirs, and you had to collect. And you collected photographs, and you had to do that.
Memories.
And so you were probably pretty put off by the fact that I forced the issue. I could. You couldn't, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, but you see, Mike, I wasn't mad at you.
You were mad at the dirt.
I was mad at the dirt. I was mad that Beth Ann set up that situation. Beth Ann McBride set up this situation where I was prevented from even capturing a glance of my dream woman at the time. And here's the thing. That might be the worst thing Beth Ann did, but it might not, because there was plenty of them. But that's one that's
I think that there's something about beautiful women who are also beautiful women that are on camera and on TV and movies that it's iconic in a different way. And it's special. But as far as you and I disagreeing, you're not attracted to Julia Roberts or Jennifer Garner. I am.
Right.
But I also think that Jennifer Love Hewitt is spectacularly pretty.
Well, then you're a dick.
But give me another example of, because I know we haven't always agreed.
There's one that I think is the most beautiful woman that's working now, and she's been working for a while. She was on the first season of White Lotus, and her name is Alexandra Daddario.
I don't know.
And I think she is stunning. And you don't even remember her. And you see, it's different.
I'm not even going to my computer because I don't care. That's it.
Well, why don't you care?
Alexandra Daddario?
Daddario, yeah. You would love her.
I think we had a Daddario congressman. I think we had a congressman Daddario in Connecticut when I grew up.
Did he have a nice rack?
Because
they could be related.
Oh God, stop it. Now you're gross. Now now seriously, why don't you go on tour with Richard Dreyfuss then? All right?
No. I was talking about a male congressman.
I think that when it comes to I think I have appreciation for women of all kinds. I mean, absolutely,
I do too,
you know.
But I do think we diverge. I think
all right, let's do this. Here's a great example.
Okay.
Where do you line up on Emma Stone?
No, thank you.
Me too.
Okay.
All right. Just
All right.
not my type.
All right. Where do you wind up on Sharon Stone?
At the time and to this day, one of the most spectacularly gorgeous women in Hollywood. In my humble opinion.
This is weird. Because I initially thought maybe we don't have much overlap, but apparently we do. I know another one.
We can still hate each other then.
Mike, that's the magic.
That's
of
it.
this
Absolutely. Continue to hate. That's a good idea. So
Yes,
there they all
thank
are.
you.
And we'll find. Yeah, I know we have parted ways on certain women. I know we have. You know, just like what's the guy on the Pinup Society that's on Facebook? Eric. I forgot what his name is. Oh man, he puts terrible pictures up there.
Mike, this just in. Alexander Daddario's grandfather was Connecticut Congressman Emilio Daddario.
There it is. See? Everything comes together.
Was he beautiful? I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure he was a very beautiful man. Thought he was bald. I'm serious. I think he was.
So is she.
So is she. That's good. Hey, if you have some killer ink, you need our sponsor, Mad Rabbit. Mad Rabbit is committed to reinventing tattoo aftercare. Mad Rabbit creates simple, effective, and natural products that help improve and preserve tattoos, all delivered directly to your door. It was founded by two friends who love tattoos. Their hero product, the Tattoo Bomb, which our own Josh Soroka uses, revitalizes, replenishes, and preserves tattooing with clean and natural ingredients. It's effective on both new and old tattoos. Josh is holding it right there. And all skin types. And Julia uses it too. They've got all the products.
Yeah, she's actually in the house. She's probably using it right now.
Tattoo sunscreen, soothing gel, tattoo lotion, and more. Now is the time to try out Mad Rabbit. They've preserved over 3 million tattoos, and they've got an exclusive offer just for our listeners. If you go to madrabbit.com/TMOS25 and use the promo code TMOS25, you'll receive 25% off. Pay attention. That's a different code, 25% off, when you head to madrabbit.com/TMOS25 and use our promo code. I'll say it one last time, TMOS25.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Thank you. My tattooed daughter.
The flip side.
Mike, I was halfway surprised you didn't mention his passing in the flip side, but Bill Walton passed over the weekend.
One of my impressions.
Bill Walton. There you go.
He was 71. He'd been battling cancer.
That sucks.
But an amazing player at both the college, pro, and broadcasting level. He did it all. And it was something that was mentioned on the news today that really stuck with me. He says he was involved with basketball for 50 years.
Yeah.
And that's just
legendary player.
But also fun to listen to because he was himself. He was a legendary deadhead. He was a stoner.
He's got this way of talking like that. Bill Walton. There you are. Yeah, sure.
And he also had an expression that I always enjoyed called the honey hole. And here is Bill Walton explaining the honey hole.
If he can handle it there at the honey hole, then you're going to have a chance to come up with a whole different variety of offensive attack.
Why don't you explain that term? What is the honey hole?
A honey hole is a long-term basketball phrase where it's right at the free throw line area. That's where the honey is, right?
Right.
We were talking about Winnie the Pooh. It all rolls into one, right? You're looking for the honey. So you get to the honey hole, and then good things happen. And when you're playing against the zone defense, when you're playing any kind of basketball, you want to get that ball to the free throw line, the honey hole. So that's what's going to set up your offensive attack.
Just so you know, that was 40 seconds during a ball game where they didn't mention anything that was going on the court.
You got that's the communication, and that's what when you're in the business that we're in, that's the kind of stuff you listen to. His ability to communicate his point and to explain something so beautifully and so spot on. I'm not even a basketball fan, and I love that bit of broadcasting right there where he tells you exactly what's going on. Man, do I love that. I love that.
Did you find him attractive?
Not as much as Jennifer Love Hewitt, though. Sorry, pal.
Stop it. All right, Mike, there are two things I hate to drive with in my automobile. Balloons, because they always end up around you like a helium
and
balloons.
An empty fast food bag. Am I right, ladies?
Am I right? But the other thing I hate is propane tanks. And I have 3 tanks, and I normally get them filled at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, especially this time of year. A lot of people doing the same thing.
don't like moving them around. Well, this guy, I believe, where was he? He was in Van Nuys, California. And not only did he have propane tanks in his car, he also thought it would be a good time to have a cigarette.
Oh, no.
It did not go. Mike, he escaped with minor injuries.
It was a blast that sent car parts flying and caused buildings to shake in this Van Nuys shopping center Thursday night.
Where do you see the car?
The LAPD says the driver of this white Toyota SUV who had parked in this lot on Van Nuys Boulevard just minutes before the vehicle detonated lit a cigarette too close to some propane canisters he had inside.
It totaled it. Oh, I'm sorry.
Those are not like the things you fill your gas grill up with. Those are little canisters, it looked like.
No. Canister, they're the tanks.
They were?
The ones that are,
Well, look at play it again. Play it again and show it, because you'll see that they show the canisters are.
Here we go.
Oh, my God.
So bad.
The LAPD says the driver of this white Toyota SUV who had
All right,
parked
pause
in
it. No. Keep going a little bit.
this lot on Van Nuys Boulevard just minutes
show it to
before
you.
the vehicle detonated lit a
There, right there.
Oh, maybe you're right. I got the impression they were grill canisters.
Those
cigarette too close to some propane canisters he had inside.
Wow.
But it had to be leak. It had to be leaking. It can't be that it's just close to it.
No, there had to be a leak. But also, it just goes to show, Mike, smoking is very unhealthy.
Thanks for the bulletin, Rob Spiewak.
I say put it out, Mike. That's all I have.
I'm here at
for
the
you
local
today.
Ace, and I am let me just move it out there. Was that a spark? I'm so sorry. I apologize. Hey, we got to get out of here. We'll be back with another episode tomorrow. And thanks so much for supporting us. And go to our Facebook page. It's The Mike O'Mara Show. That's all you need to worry about. And there's MikeO'MaraShow.com right there on the bottom of your screen. Check that out every day. Every day you get an opportunity. Buy our stuff. Subscribe to our stuff. Get into our stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Yeah, isn't that fun?
Yeah.
There it is.
There it is right there.
You wish we could
and then
reach
come on
over
in
that?
and make a mess with our stuff.
We'll see you tomorrow. For Rob Spiewak, Josh Soroka, Mike O'Mara saying so long, everybody.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Want more? Make sure you check out the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show. Get it at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.